You ever have one of those days where everything goes wrong? Like you're just waiting for the moon to show up so you can celebrate Eid, and next thing you know, boom, your house is part of a political assassination plot? Welcome to Mozambique in the late 70s, where the moon's not out, your husband's missing, and you might just be murdered by your neighbor, who is secretly working with South African terrorists. Yes, that kind of day. Today I'm telling you the story of Neighbours, the story of a murder. It's got betrayal, spies, revenge, burnt villages, Eid dinners interrupted, and 3 very angry men who think terrorism is a valid form of self-expression. Mozambique gained independence from Portugal on June 25, 1975. Like many newly independent countries, Mozambique tried to help others still fighting for their freedom, South Africans, Zimbabweans, the whole anti-colonial gang. But apartheid South Africa was not having it. So what did they do? They sponsored an armed group called Renamo, basically Mozambique's own homegrown chaos team, to destabilize the new government. Bombings, sabotage, terrorism, you name it. And that's the real-world backdrop for our story. A story where, as the author Lília Momplé puts it,
oppression can take many forms. Neighbours was written out of my horror at the way countries can abuse each other's sovereignty for their own ends with impunity. Like many Mozambicans, I lived through decades when South Africa did as it pleased in Mozambique in order to protect the interests of the apartheid regime. During this period, many Mozambicans were killed or had their lives destroyed. It is to them that I dedicate this book.
Let me introduce you to 3 guys you're not going to like, but who are fascinating in the way that only deeply flawed, broken people can be. Romu is Mozambican, but his heart belongs to the Portuguese colonialists. Why? Well, he had a rough childhood, his mother was promiscuous, his life was messy, and fighting for the colonizers gave him purpose. But after independence, that entire identity crumbles. He's so lost that when 2 terrorists, a Boer and a Mozambican turncoat named Rui, show up, Romu says, "Sure, let's murder some people, maybe the Portuguese will come back." No notes. 10 out of 10 logic. Then there's Zaliwa, who used to be head of the criminal investigation police under colonial rule. Independence happens, and he's thrown in prison for corruption. When he gets out, he's broke, bitter, and basically thinks, Mozambique betrayed me, so I'm gonna betray Mozambique right back. His revenge plan? Also murder. Lastly, DuPont. Honestly, this one feels personal. He comes from a wealthy family, but he's seen as the black sheep. Marrying Mina, who his family considers low class, makes it worse. So he decides the solution is not therapy or a career pivot, but terrorism for cash. These 3 men, Romu, Zaliwa, and DuPont, team up with the 2 terrorists and set their sights on a neighborhood filled with unsuspecting ordinary people. The sad part? The people they target are just living their lives. Narguis is a kind-hearted, plump woman preparing for Eid. She's waiting for the moon to show up and for her husband to come home so they can celebrate like they always do. Leia and Januario are a couple with a 2-year-old daughter, Iris. Januario's backstory is heartbreaking. He escaped a brutal life in the bush thanks to his mother. He's just trying to raise his family in peace. And just like that, these lives intersect. The story takes place over just 24 hours. It's told hour by hour, minute by minute, with each character's storyline unfolding like a fuse heading toward an explosion. And when the murders happen, because yes, people do die, it hits hard. Because we know them. We know their dreams, their pain, their daily struggles. For all these innocent, normal people to be caught up in a scheme they know nothing about, because one country wants to keep its grip on power is, to say the least, upsetting. So, what is this? This isn't a true crime documentary. This isn't a thriller series on Netflix. This is a book, a novella, just 133 pages long, written by Mozambican author Lília Momplé, and it's called Neighbours, the Story of a Murder. I'll be honest, this book caught me off guard. It's short, but it doesn't waste a single page. Every character is fully fleshed out. Every motive makes a twisted kind of sense. And somehow, Momplé manages to show us a nation's trauma through the microcosm of one street. It's political, it's personal, and it's deeply human. Though this book is only 131 pages, all characters are fully developed and we could sympathize with them, hate them, love them, pity them. Momplé strips the story down to its essentials. The only downside? I wanted more. But maybe that's the point. Some stories don't need to drag out to leave a scar. Sometimes a few hours are enough to change everything. Lília Momplé isn't just a storyteller. She's a voice for a time and a people too often overlooked. She's written other works like No One Killed Suhara and The Eyes of the Green Cobra, and served as president of the Mozambique Writers Association. She's lived this history, and it shows. If you're exploring African literature, especially from Lusophone countries, Neighbours is a must-read. And if you're into powerful stories, short books, and historical fiction that hits you in the gut, this one's for you. Have you read Neighbours or any other Lusophone African fiction? Let me know in the comments. If you like this story and want more powerful, often overlooked African literature, hit subscribe. This is GMBookshop, where African stories live and breathe. A link to get a copy is in the description. Until next time, read boldly.